Yeah, it's morning. How's everybody doing? Oh, it's Friday. Friday. Yeah, I'm in a good mood, but I'm sleepy. Ron's on hold with eBay. Yuck. Yeah. Yeah, you get to wait on hold and then you get to talk to somebody that is hard to understand. That's been my experience. Hey, Bumcrack. Ron, we're the only folks here? Yeah. Ugh. I'm an old man and I was playing poker in a tournament yesterday evening and I was doing good, which means you have to stay up late to finish. I got knocked out of the tournament in 13th place.
Good morning.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for coming. I'm sleepy.
You what?
I'm sleepy.
Tell you what, I cranked up my numbers at the daggum gym this morning, and I really thought about
Looks like
going back to bed when I got home.
looks like you're frothing at the mouth. Ugh.
Am I?
Yeah, I did good playing poker yesterday evening, and I was up till 12:20 doing that.
Dang, what? How much you win?
$115. Whoop whoop.
Say that again.
115.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 900. What? That's still good.
I wasn't far from it. I finished in 13th position.
Wow. How about Sadie?
Sadie played a different tournament. I think he won like 40 or 50 in his. So, yeah. So we started about 6 p.m. and finished at 12:20. 6 hours, 20 minutes on the same tournament.
So you made an average of
Yeah.
$20?
No.
No,
An hour? Your math in your brain is not working this morning.
I'm not working this morning.
No, I don't know. What's one? Actually, the entry fee was 11, so I only won 104. So
104.
104 divided by 6.
That's $17.
0.33. $16.42 an hour. I've had worse paying jobs.
That's better
It's
than
not $2 an hour.
that's better than
Lag, your math is messed up this morning too.
that's better than McDonald's.
Yeah,
And you
20
had more
cents
fun.
better than McDonald's. And a heck of a lot more fun.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Beth, Anissa. And Anissa, I was going to ask you something last night. Oh, um, auction professor.
Yeah, there was an important thing happened with auctions.
Yeah, about the licensing on that.
That's just in the state of Ohio, but it can have repercussions that will probably jump to other states. It's just a play by Ohio to get money,
Were they
in
they
my
kept talking
opinion.
about
I don't know a lot about it yet, but they're Ohio is saying to run an eBay auction, you have to have an auctioneer's license or some kind of certification or something, uh, which is just stupid. It. How long has there been eBay auctions since they started?
Mm-hmm.
1980s, early 90s, and they, and I get that the states are strapped for money because the state politicians are blowing money like the federal politicians are. You like the idea of taxing? They are. They already get taxes from your sales on eBay. They're just getting greedy. They want a fee to probably a yearly fee to be an auctioneer's license in Ohio. Anyway, I really shouldn't be talking about it because I don't know enough about it.
Well, in
But
North
yeah,
Carolina,
go to
in,
Auction Professor's uh, video last night and hear all about it.
I came into the last few minutes of it. Um, Now, in North Carolina, they shut down all of the, there used to be eBay stores. You could take your stuff in and they would sell it for you for a commission. And they shut all those down because they were auctioning other people's merchandise off without a license. And I can understand that. I can see that. But if you're just doing buy it now, why are you not just a consignment shop?
Ron was Ron was on hold with eBay. That's 10 minutes. He'll never get back. Ohio wants your money. One of the reasons we don't want Yankee carpetbaggers and Californicators to move here in Texas is a couple $1 billion. I know. Why can't the other states manage their funds like Texas does? Texas doesn't even have state income tax. They just have a pretty high sales tax rate, and that takes care of everything.
Because people haven't sued them. Because people haven't turned them in. Now, my niece used to work at a Salvation Army store. She was a manager of it, and she never put any Gucci, Coach, any of those kind of bags that were donated out until she had a friend who was she knew all about those handbags until she looked at them to make sure they were not real. I mean, they were not fake.
Yeah, I actually listed a pair of fake Nikes. I didn't know they were fake because I got like 7 or 8 pairs of Nikes from a rummage sale last spring, and they were all legit except for that one pair. Fortunately, another eBay user said, "Hey, these shoes you're selling are fake," and I asked him why, and he gave me the description of why they were fake, and sure enough, they're fake as what's the saying about fakes? Fake as
Well,
California boobs. Yep.
and so that goes back to, I guess, the manager of it, because she didn't want to get in trouble for selling stuff, fake stuff. Well, actually, in Mecklenburg County, where I live at, you can do 4 yard sales a year, and it costs $5 a time for $5. You have to have a license and it's $5 per license, and you can do 4 yard sales a year. That's all.
Yeah,
See,
it's
and
like
if I was an inspector for the city or the county, I would make my salary plus pay for one of these wild ass schemes they got coming on here, because I'd get out and not because that was my job. I'd get out and I'd go to every yard sale and say, "Where's your license at? Oh, you don't have one? Well, that's $50 fine."
yeah. Tom, how much is your state sales tax if you go buy a pair of shoes? What's the percentage?
7.5.
7.5. Now Texas, I think this is right, is 8.6%. But on the flip side, we don't have to pay state sales tax. I mean, state income tax. We don't have that.
Right now, a half a cent of our sales tax is subsidizing the the transit system, CATS, and another half cent of it is subsidizing this dumbass pro sports teams that we have in town.
Ron says his is 8.25%.
And they're talking about adding another of percent for
You're in
something else,
Texas,
but I
Ron.
don't know what that
How
is.
come yours is less?
Ours is going on up. They keep
Ours
having.
has been. Oh, okay. Well, Texas state is 6.25%, but local governments are allowed to add on to that. So
Right.
mine here is 8.6, I think. Yeah, Ron is absolutely right.
Now, see, down in South Carolina in York County, they have pennies for progress. And what it is they add 1 penny to every transaction you make. Business, like a sales tax type thing, only it's 1 penny. And all of that goes into a special fund for road improvements. Now, when they do this pennies for progress, it's specified that we're going to improve these roads, and we're going to collect this amount of money, and it's got a time limit on it. So if they improve the roads, or if they raise all the money they need, or if the time limit runs out, it ends right then. And then you have to start all over. Then they have to start all over again. And it's it's on the ballot, and it has never not won, because it has so many. It just doesn't go on forever. We're going to fix a project, or time's going to run out. So I think it's a pretty good thing. I am totally opposed to subsidizing pro teams. If these billionaires can't afford a building to put their business in, too freaking bad.
Yeah, and I feel the same exact way about toll roads in Texas. I
Well, if
paid
you
the
want to,
tax money for them to build those dang roads. Now, if you want to go the fast way around Austin or the fast way through Dallas Fort Worth, you have to pay a toll to get on the toll lanes. And it's just a money grab.
yeah, they let's
Our
see,
taxes paid
we
for
have
those
two.
roads, and they're
We
charging
have
us.
lanes in our belt loop that are toll roads, toll lanes, and to try to help eliminate congestion. I don't see how it's going to eliminate congestion because it's it's still 6 lanes. They're just getting money off of it. But it's, if you want to pay the money to get to the other side of Charlotte faster, you go ahead. I'm not in that big a hurry. I'm old. I'm retired. I don't have no place I need to be that's not within. My doctor's office and our hospital is within 3 miles of the place.
Yep. But yeah, going through Dallas, there are sections of the road that are 2 lanes wide on the main interstate path, and then right over here next to it is the toll lanes, and there's 2 lanes there. Well, there's enough room between there, and it's actually paved. There's enough room between there for another 2 lanes, so they could have 6 free lanes going. They got enough concrete laid out there to. Oh my God, it just chaps my ass. Sorry, but
It's because people don't have to answer for anything. Because people are not, people are not looking at like the city budget. They're not looking at all this stuff. We've got like $50 million that's being allocated to our greenway areas. Okay, if they want to build greenways, then do do the pennies for progress deal. We collect $50 million worth of pennies, then we're done. Then we can get everything built. When we get all the greenways built, we're done, and it drops off. I use our greenway, but there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of areas they're building them on. I would not feel safe on them in the broad daylight, more or less, early morning or in evenings.
There's a few toll roads in Oklahoma that they built in the 1970s. And Dad told me when they built those things, they promised that once the tolls paid for the construction cost, then they would do away with the tolls. Nope, they've had them ever since.
Well, that's one of the things I like about the penny for progress. There's specific deadlines. It's not one of these when it's paid for. There should have been an X amount of money. We spent $100 million or whatever it was. When $100 million is collected, then it's ended.
I don't mind paying my fair share, but when billions and trillions of dollars get spent on stuff like COVID relief, sure, that money helps some people out, but if you figure up the inflation and the amount that it cost taxpayers since those came out, I'm in the hole, the checks I got.
Thing about it is, Todd, we'll never have to worry about paying it back because we'll be long gone. Our great-grandchildren will still be paying on those things. All this debt, all this relief that was done during this time.
Yeah,
and then
Ron,
people didn't spend their money for what they were supposed to.
Most of our county and local politicians are honest. But you get up to that state level.
Because we don't have auditors. No, I'm talking about outside auditors. They come in and look at all this money that's being spent, how it's being spent, looking for the shady stuff.
Ann Richards, that
Yeah, I
was
was
her
about to
name,
ask if
right?
that was Ann Richards. I remember seeing her on TV one time.
Is that when they built the toll roads? Was during her? Bunch of the toll roads in Texas were built after she was dead and gone.
Well, it's because y'all got such an influx of people.
If they're building the road anyway, if they just free up the commerce that is going, never mind. I could it just chaps my ass.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I just don't understand. I don't understand what they're thinking.
I don't know how much I know the sports teams in Texas get tax breaks, tax preferences, but I don't know if they actually got money. Hey, Mr. Sadie.
All
Mr.
I know is
Sadie
that
couldn't
we've
hang
spent
with me
several
last
hundred
night.
million dollars on these damn stadiums for these pro teams, and that money could have built the dadgum greenways. That money could have, used for because they say it comes out of it's an entertainment tax, or it's used for entertainment or entertainment development or something of that sort. Anyway, because people say, well, why isn't that money not being used on schools? And they'll say, well, because it's collected for a specific thing, for the entertainment arena. And
Hold up.
but you can start moving money around. If you wanted to throw money into the school system, you could take that money and redirect it. That $100 million we gave the Panthers, money could be redirected to the parks and things like that, and then the money that's already allocated for parks could be moved out of the general fund. There's just They're trying to build names for themselves. And like I said, we don't have to worry about it, Todd. We're old. Unfortunately, our time on the earth is limited. But
Donkeys.
these kids that are little, I'm talking like 4 and 5, they will be paying for this shit the rest of their whole lives.
Oh, it was that way. I remember the same kind of talk was coming out of my dad's mouth in 1970s. You know,
It's like our cat.
the national debt was so big then it would never get paid off. And now
Um,
look at it. Oh my God. What was the national debt in um, the early 70s? It was like less than 2 trillion. And now it's 30 trillion and climbing every second.
national debt in 1964 was 312 billion.
That's right. Said he couldn't hang. He had to take his old ass to bed while I finished my poker.
Yeah,
He didn't stay.
he was talking about that, Mr. Sadie. He was crowing like a rooster this morning.
I'm already spending the money on whatever.
When he takes the boss, he's gonna spend it tonight when he takes the boss lady out for dinner.
There you go, Ron. Thanks for looking that up. 458 billion in 1975. And at that time, people were thinking, how are we going to pay that back? How are we going to pay that back? It's going to wreck the United States economy.
It's about
450.
about 9:30. I mean, about 12:30, Mr. Sadie.
Of course, 458 billion in 1975 was probably in today's money would be like 2 trillion, 3 trillion. Still, 3 trillion is a ton less than the debt we got now. Jeez. We're going even without any more stimulus money and COVID checks, the government is still going 2 trillion in the hole every year. How much longer can it keep up?
You know, you look back at, you start talking about in today's money, and in 1935, 10 cents would be like $2 and a half in our $2.17 in today's money. Because you know, you're talking about, um, let's do this.
100,000 times what amount? So
That you know that 10-cent soda that they were buying in 1965 was costing them about 94 cents in today's money. Because you know, people talk about, I don't remember it myself. Well, I remember when you go get a Pepsi Cola for 10 cents and a nab for 3 cents.
oh,
That was a lot of money.
I remember getting Big Hunk candy bar, Big Hunk chocolate bars, 5 cents. They weren't quite as big as the Snickers, but it was a big hunk. Actually, the big hunk now is probably bigger than a Snicker bar.
If Todd would get all his Texas buddies, billionaire buddies together, they could pay off the national debt.
Oh my gosh. Right.
Now,
It's just
I wish they would go to a balanced budget, and then once they put a balanced budget in place for 100 years, that's what the amendment is. Got to be in place for 100 years, and then do a VAT like the Brits have, and that VAT is used exclusively for paying off our national debt. That wouldn't bother me, but them just keep on creating more debt and more debt and more debt. I know a value added tax just freaks most of you people out. But like I said, if it's for a specific person, and then specific thing, and then once it's done,
Chico sticks are good. I can My favorite candy bar is probably a toss up between Reese's Cups and Snickers.
I like Snickers, and I like the ones that's covered in peanuts. Is that a payday?
Yeah.
I like those. Mr.
Well,
Bunecracker, are you still in here?
Snickers, of course he is. Snickers is probably, it's just a payday with chocolate on it, basically.
Yeah.
Mars bars, those were good. And one big almond on the top center of them, and the rest was just chocolate and
What was it?
Wonderful cream stuff.
Was it Three Musketeers? It had like the nougat chocolate,
yeah,
fluffy stuff in the middle. I never liked those.
Those are good too.
I didn't like those.
I sure didn't. I don't like the dark chocolate stuff.
Oh, I love dark chocolate.
Do you really? You're weird.
It helps keeps you happy.
Dark chocolate keeps you happy.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you say.
Because there's enough dementors in this world that you have to have something to keep you.
Mars has almonds all through them. Really? Mars. What am I thinking of then?
What is the one that's sort of like a Snickers, only it's got a white chocolate or whatever on the outside? Anybody remember what those were?
A what?
It was like a Mars bar, but it had like white chocolate. It had like a white chocolate coating, but it wasn't white chocolate, I don't think. Those are
Zero.
good too. Dark chocolate is not evil. Dark chocolate keeps the evil away.
I like the Zagnuts better than I did the Zero.
Yeah, bum crack. What is the value added? What's the VAT rate on product that y'all buy over there? Do you know?
I've heard it's around 20%. Like
That's what I was thinking too.
if a British buyer buys a pair of tennis shoes from my eBay store, they pay a 20% um, Zero bar. They were
Yeah,
good. I like Zero bars. I just like Snickers better.
I am.
White fudge is good.
Because they're always saying about tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Okay, when Anissa goes out and buys that $3,500 Gucci bag, or yeah, 20%, she goes out and buys that Gucci bag, or what's one of those designer bags, or her $3,500 pair of shoes, and she's going to pay. Let me figure out how to use this damn calculator. She's gonna pay about seven. Is that $700? Yeah, about $700 in value added tax. That's taxing the rich.
Well,
As you believe.
stock market opened a little lower. Stock market went down yesterday.
Yeah, I know you.
Gold and silver have been hit pretty hard the last couple of weeks too.
Like, is there a limit on? I mean, is there like if you buy a $50,000 a 50,000 pound Mercedes, is it still 20%, or do they have a special rate for that kind of stuff? Good morning, Scrunchy. Good morning, Deb. I'm just, I just think I, I'm glad Jim and Tara's not here because they'd be calling me a Democrat.
Bitcoin dropped a bunch yesterday. It's kind of flat today.
But you think we would be the superpower again if we didn't have a national debt, because everybody else is like we are now, just covered up, you know. So anyway, that's my political view this morning. Let's tax the rich, because first of all, if I could truly afford a $3,500 pair of shoes for my wife, or a pocketbook, a purse, that's not our style. We don't buy that kind of stuff.
Look at the crazy card. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, but you can't suck it to people. It's the stupid. You can't. They talk about lottery being a stupid tax. No, that's not a stupid tax. You put a value added tax on some of this, like all these high end purses and stuff like that. That would be the stupid tax. Because anybody that's stupid enough to go out and spend $3,500 on a damn pocketbook that's not worth tens and 20 million, $20 million or better, that's just stupid. You can't afford it. Yeah, Mr. Sadie, we can't even stop a balloon from casually floating across our country.
Shoot. The Alaska National Guard wanted to shoot it down before it even got above United States soil, and the U.S. government stopped them. Look it up. It could have carried an EMP or a nuclear weapon or anything.
Good morning, Julie.
Another. Yeah, never mind. There's another political thing. I wasn't going to do a political show this morning,
Well,
but here we are.
we're not. We're not being political. We're talking about making America the greatest country in the world, which we
Yeah.
already are. If that's a
Define
fit,
rich. I looked it up one time. I went on one of those websites where you plug in your net worth and see how you rate among the world's people. I think I wound up somewhere around, I'm the 150 millionth richest person in the world.
well, I'm glad you.
And you know, if I'm 150 millionth, I'm beating out 7.8 billion other people.
Yeah,
So in the world, yeah, most of the world would consider me rich, and I'm not. I don't consider myself rich. I want to be Sadie rich.
it's just well, you know,
Michael taking all the
millionaire,
virus.
a billionaire is the old millionaire.
I guess.
It is because it don't take. It does not take much to become a millionaire in assets anymore.
Oh, yeah, but I'm thinking,
You talking about cash?
I don't know. There's another definition you got to throw out.
What's that?
Well, is your home value and your cars sitting in front, or you know, are you including that in your worth,
Yeah,
network?
it's all your assets less all your debts. That gives you your next rate. That to me, that's what gets you net worth. All your debt.
Yeah, that's right, Ron. Uh, I've had a couple little glitches, Texas Bandit. For about, I was listing either yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, and uh, I would hit list item. You know, I'd finish the listing and I'd hit list item, and eBay would send me a message that said, "We're sorry. Uh, you'll have to come back later to post your listing." So then I would have to go. It was automatically in my drafts, so I had to go. So I X'd out of that, went to drafts and reopened it, and then it would let me list it. There was like 6 listings like that. So yeah, it's
You see what Mr. Sadie said?
where
He's down about
I'm
three,
getting
four.
behind in the chat.
He's I'm the richest broke ass you ever saw.
The richest broke ass he's ever seen.
Oh, bearded picker, he must be dang busy this week.
Yeah, liquid and illiquid assets.
Yeah, I think it's about. I mean, I think it's a little bit overkill. Harbor's Hope.
Yeah, what did they need that balloon for anyway?
I
When
think
they
it's.
got satellites that can look down your underpants.
I think they were just fricking with us. If it was actually a Chinese satellite, they're trying to get us, our own people. Yeah, but you know, another thing too is China buys all our treasury notes, or a majority of them. I was watching a news and it was on ABC, or it was on an ABC feed on YouTube, so you know it's true. Um, the
Roman, that would be a big seller right now, wouldn't it?
I know.
A spy balloon.
Um,
I bet sales are up for people who make big balloons. It's like, what was that ad for the sand from where football player announced his retirement? You could buy the sand he stood on.
well, you can buy anything on eBay. Mr. Sadie sold his virginity 35 times before they took his listing down.
Was it? Probably so.
Well, there was a bunch of salvage companies that was hoping it would go down in international waters and not in U.S. waters because they were wanting to salvage it themselves, and it went down. It went down off the coast of the Carolinas.
Good.
Like his social security number is easy. It's like 101.
Better not lag. No bids on my social security number.
The balloon was high end restaurant with takeout only.
Thanks, Texas Bandit. My social security is at least 7 numbers. Come on.
Yeah,
My social security number starts with 00. Thanks.
it's 001
Punk.
01 0002.
You're all a bunch of young punks. Yes, you are.
Thought I'm only a couple years younger than you.
I know it.
We're so old, and I'm feeling it today.
I know.
I want you to know I think more of you than I do my own brothers because I started to go back to bed and I thought, no, I got to go hang out with Todd so he's not by himself. My brothers, I would have let them.
Hell with them.
They'd have been on here. They'd have been doing it by themselves. I'd go to bed.
Well, it's because there's times with your brothers you have to spend more than an hour and a half with them.
Yeah, but sometimes that's too much.
I know. Yeah, I visit with my brother, and after we watch a game on TV or go play a round of golf, I'm pretty much done. See you next time, bro.
I don't have anything in common with my brothers. My younger brothers into horses and dogs and hunting. I live in the city. I don't have a place for a horse. And I'm not paying the outrageous amount that they get for boarding horses around here. And I sure as hell am not getting up at 4:00 in the morning to go sit in a tree, hoping that Bambi might come walking by or Tom the turkey.
Yeah.
And my older brother, he doesn't really do anything. So
it'd be great to go back to the years of the Eisenhower administration. That's when, if you paid money for taxes, they actually built the roads. Eisenhower put in the interstate highway system, his administration and those people during that time.
Oh, so you're still young.
They built infrastructure that has stood the test of time. And none of it was a toll road. You don't have anything in common.
I ain't doing it. I mean,
Donner and Blitzen are in my freezer. There you
I can
go.
go to the grocery store and buy what I want, and as long as that's available, I can. Now, mind you, we like we buy a lot of beef from a meat plant, packing plant, a locker plant, depending on what you call it in your area. We'll get in there and we'll buy 20 pounds of ground beef in bulk and big things of ribs and that kind of stuff. But pretty much, I go to I go to the Publix. Let people grow apart. They're now we used to fish a lot together when we were younger, and then you get families, and the wives come along, and then the yard apes come along. Instead of going doing what you want to do, you got to go sit through t-ball and soccer games and all that kind of stuff. So people just drift apart.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
We'll go ahead and do that. So Harbor, he thinks you're his 6-year-old brother that he can still boss around. A friend of mine's got a sister. He's my age, so she must be 70. And she has always been the queen of the house. She has always bossed her brothers around. Yeah, lag. You just can't get rid of them. I'm I'm 65. Todd's 67. So we're young. Because, people are living to be 110 all the time now. Used to be a rarity. Everybody's is. Mr. Sadie, you're not 20. You're not 24. You haven't seen 24 in a long time. Unless that's supposed to be you got 24 grandchildren now. Or great grandchildren. Oh, you're still young, Deb. Well, that's the truth, John, Anissa. I don't see. I had a lot of cousins that we were real close to when we were little, and we just don't see them anymore, and they're slowly dying. I mean, like my mom has. Okay, there's no people from my dad's generation left on my dad's side of the family. He and all his brothers and sisters have died. My mom, she's got one sister that's left. Other than that, her other 10 brothers and sisters have died. So it's just now the cousins now. And the cousins are, everybody's busy with their own life. Or some went one direction, some went the other one, some went to prison. So, that's the way it works. Mm. So I've actually been talking with several of my cousins on both sides of the family that I was real close with about doing getting together and having like a family picnic type thing. Just the cousins and their children and their grandchildren and their great grandchildren, and I think some of them's got a great child.
Yeah.
But that's life. You just grow apart. It's like I tell my boys when they were graduating from high school. I said, you and your friends that are real close now, you're going to grow apart because life catches up with you. Right now, you have squat to do, but later on, you're going to have wives or husbands and children and jobs and all that kind of mess. So I've just oppressed the hell out of all of you younger ones in here. If there's anybody under the age of 40 under in here,
Yeah. I love all my family. Just I love you over there.
exactly. Bing, bing, bing.
I get to see family enough at I don't know, weddings and funerals and a little bit of Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's plenty.
Well, that's just it. I see my mom a lot, and I see my two brothers because of mom. But everything's revolves around mom. It's not like we get together and do stuff on the side or we take trips together. Now, my older brother and his wife, they like to cruise too, but they like to go on Royal Caribbean, the higher price cruise lines. If I'm going to spend some money to go
There
on a
you
cruise,
go.
I'm not going to spend a bunch of money to go on a cruise ship with 7,000 other people.
There you go.
That's just too many people. And these new ones, Royal Caribbean's got coming out. It's got like 6,500 passengers. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, everything revolves around mom. What mom wants, mom gets.
Well, that's just it, you know. Because I don't know whether I told you or not. My mom she had a blood clot appear in her leg, and so we've been hustling about that. I got to go down there tomorrow and hang out with her and do some things for her. Julie, we were
Yeah,
supposed to have gone on. We are supposed to be
yes.
at
Anissa can
sea.
share some of her kids.
Do what?
If you don't have any kids and want some, Anissa's got spares.
Yeah,
She can hook you up with some kids.
she's doing. She's doing good. But we were supposed to be on our way back from Panama to Tampa today. It'd be a day at sea, and because of my little procedure, I decided we needed to cancel it and reschedule it. So Roberta was telling me, she said, "I found this a cruise," and I said, "What's that?" And she said, "Well, first of all, it's not on Carnival; it's on Canard." And she said, "Thank you, Deb." She said, "And it's for 42 days." I said, "Okay, how can you spend 42 days in Panama?" She says, "Oh, you start off in Vancouver and go up to Alaska and go through the Panama Canal and then up to Bermuda and then across to Spain."
Yeah, I don't have any grandkids yet either,
I
Anissa.
don't either. I hope I have. I don't want them to rush it, but I hope I do have one before I have the shake so bad that they're afraid to let me hold them.
There you go. Words of wisdom right there, Azure.
It is. It is. You got to. No regrets. Grandkids. Grandkids are a reward for not killing your own kids. We have six, so I guess we did pretty good. Six, and this has got like eight, doesn't she? I guess I was just old when I got my three because my oldest one, I was 40 years old when he was came along. I guess I was just old and cantankerous by then. Oh, she only has five. Okay. See, I'll probably be like Mr. Sadie, have 3 sons, which I do, and then a house full of granddaughters. That poor boy. Yeah, Ryan, poor Ryan. I'll say a prayer for him tonight. Lag, you got 3. Oh, have mercy. Scott. Todd, I guess we've been abandoned by Scott and Tara this week.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
Scott's making all his money. He's Professor Beard now.
I'm thinking hard about signing up for his course.
I have too.
I don't know. I think I'm doing okay without being taught anymore about how to run reselling, but I don't know.
Well, I guess if you want to make as much money as Scott does, you got to get into the retail arbitrage, which is what that's all about.
I don't want to work that hard. Pump it up, Azure. Thanks for stopping by.
You just headed to the gym? I've been to the gym. I was at the gym at 6:30.
Jeez, that's too early.
I told my son, with all the sisters and a mother, he should have women all over him.
Too cheap for that. I am pretty cheap, I gotta admit. Oh, I didn't.
He didn't have one last night. I'm getting ready to message him. I was hoping he'd at least pop into the chat this morning and ask him if he's okay, or if
he's just probably tired of all the YouTube stuff after building that course. Yeah. I know he spent tons of time making video and creating lessons, and jeez.
Harbor said that he was out buying. Scott was out buying. Well, you know, honestly, if you do a lot of since I know Scott would ship stuff while he was on the road. You know, if you're going to do a lot of traveling, then that would probably be a pretty good gig, you know, because you can do some shopping while you're in line. I mean, you're on the road and whatnot. But to do like he does and get in the car and then drive and drive and drive. And I'll give you one more, and drive.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. And I guess that's why he's successful. He's willing to do it. He's also 20 years younger than I am. By the way, if you want a handy dandy little gadget, this right here with $1.25 at the dollar store. Put your pads in them or your phones and holds them up so you can see them. It's a really good. It's heavy plastic. It's a lot better than them $12, $14 ones that you can buy off of Amazon. Just saying. I've got them scattered all around this house because I don't like holding my phone, and I still can't find my phone.
It was beautiful sunny here yesterday, and today the wind is just screaming all day long and turning chilly.
Yeah, we might can get some snow or ice tomorrow night. Yeah, Saturday night. Well, get over there and get it fixed, Mr. Sadie. Then tell them. Then make them bring you as a guest fisherman, and they need to come to South Carolina and do some fishing on the lakes down here. Yeah, my wife's waiting for the get a little bit warmer today, and so we can open the windows back up.
Yeah.
South Jersey, Turnpike or Interstate?
It's cooling back down. Our high today is 49.
Wow.
Chilly day, chilly, windy. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. It's 10 o'clock, Todrick. I got to go.
So Monday we'll be back here. Got to go pack my 5 orders and get them shipped. I think Gwen's talking about going to Waco for whatever reason.
You got to take her?
Maybe. She's got to get her nails done. I don't like sitting around while she's in a parlor. Nail parlor? What do you call them? Nail salon? Those Vietnamese girls in there go, "You got boyfriend?"
You got boyfriend? Oh, you've seen that one too? Hold on a second before you leave here. Okay, there's Clifton.
You like
oh, there's
finished
Waco
coat?
down here.
You don't like finished coat? Oh. Your husband liked finished coat, I'm sure.
So you're about halfway between Fort Worth and Austin.
Yep.
Damn, you're a long ways from Houston there.
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 hours to Houston.
Dang. You could just go up and hit I-20, take I-20 to 85, and come straight up to Charlotte.
Sadie, on their inaugural launch, you're going to have to take your boat and ride alongside them in your boat in case they need to be towed back to shore.
Or if it starts sinking. Is that the boat that had all the holes in it?
Yeah. Looked like he did a pretty good job of patching the holes, but dang. For one person, I wouldn't be afraid of it. I mean, you can take a life jacket and don't get so far away from shore you couldn't swim it. But those boys are big.
Yeah.
And
all righty, I got to get out of here. Bump Crack, when you're feeling up to it, you need to come into the morning show and let's chat. Find out how you're doing. See if you've gotten over the loss of the Queen.
There's Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn, are you just now getting here? You've been listening. He
just got out of bed.
He's
a bachelor. He's a bachelor. He sleeps in. He's been
at work an hour and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Did I tell you about my 13th place? There were 1,050 people played the tournament yesterday, and I finished 13th. Woohoo!
You're getting good.
Yeah.
Just keep at it, and you'll be number one.
If I'd gone one more place higher, that was another $45. I'm like, crap.
That would have been good.
All right, folks.
Everybody have a great weekend.
Bye.